Today I'm going to tell you why people won't move to Missouri. Missouri is in the middle of the country and is considered a flyover state. It is home to the Mark Twain National Forest, the Lake of the Ozarks, and a few great universities. Park University in Parkville, Missouri, and it's one a lot of people don't know about, but hands down, the fastest thinking human being I have ever known went there. Side note, he was a second lieutenant and retired a 2-star general a few years back. At least that's what I heard. The Show Me State hasn't had any rapid growth in a very long time. In most decades, they see around 5% growth. The last time Missouri saw double-digit growth was in the 1900 census. In the 2020 census, they had the lowest growth in the history of the state, 2.8%. When you dig a little deeper into those numbers, you realize if it wasn't for a higher than average birth rate in the second half of that census, they might have slipped into the negative column. The problem is nobody wants to move to Missouri. And it shows in their migration numbers. In a survey, Missouri residents were asked if they would recommend the state to friends or family. 59% said no. In this video, we're going to look at why people say they won't move there or they want to move out. Got it? Get it? Good. Let's take a look. Number 10, unpredictable weather. Missouri has a humid continental climate, which means that the weather can change quickly and drastically. In the winter, the temperature can drop below freezing, and in the summer, they could reach 100 degrees and stay there for a while. This can be difficult for someone that's coming from a place that has a more consistent weather pattern like San Diego, where it's pleasant 11 months out of the year and 1 month of extreme heat. Number 9, they're prone to natural disasters. Missouri is located in the Midwest, which is a region that is prone to natural disasters like floods, blizzards, and tornadoes. In 2011, a series of tornadoes devastated the state, killing 158 people and injuring about 1,100 more. So, real disasters. Not like a burrito before a first date. That's a disaster, but not like these. Number 8, high crime rate. Missouri has an incredibly high crime rate, thanks to its big cities. You got Kansas City and you got St. Louis, and Springfield ain't no peach either. People know this, and it's one of the main reasons they stay away from the state. In 2022, the violent crime rate in Missouri was 4.6 per every 1,000 residents. Now that's compared to the national average of 3.3 for every 1,000 residents. The property crime in Missouri is 2,485 for every 100,000 residents compared to the national average of 2,010 for every 100,000 residents. Now, to be fair, in recent years, St. Louis's crime rate has been sliding down. It's getting better, a little bit better, not much, but it is getting better. Now, East St. Louis, right over the river in Illinois, is a different story. Even though it's another city in another state, they're right up against each other, a river separates them, you still get a little of the reputation and crime from East St. Louis. Number 7, low wages. Missouri has a lot of jobs and a lot of open jobs. They just don't have a lot of money to go with those jobs. Luckily, the cost of living is kind of low here, but when you're looking to move to a place or be transferred from work or take a new job at a new place, chances are if you're moving to Missouri from someplace, I don't know, on the east or west coast, they're going to lower your wages. Even though the real estate and the cost of living might be lower, a lot of people can't get over that hump to think that I used to make 60 grand a year to do this job in Virginia. Now I got to move to Missouri and get paid $48,000. The median household income in Missouri is about $51,000, which is lower than the national average of $67,000. That's household, not individual. This means that people in Missouri struggle to make ends meet. Not as bad as, let's say, Mississippi and Arkansas, but they struggle. Number 6, high poverty rate. Now, to piggyback off our low income, we have poverty. Throughout the state, the poverty rate is higher than the national average in Missouri, but in the cities, it kind of blows up. The United States poverty rate right now is 11.2%. The entire state of Missouri, it's 13.2. But when you get into the cities like St. Louis is about 21% of their population lives below the poverty line. In Kansas City, it's about 15.6%. A majority of the people thinking about moving to Missouri will be moving to a city, so that becomes an issue. Is it the worst in the nation? Absolutely not. Is it something that bothers people? Yes, it does. Number 5. Low education level. The high school graduation rate in Missouri is 84.3%, which is lower than the national average of 87.9%. This means there's a whole bunch of people floating around Missouri with no high school diploma. Not like high school diplomas are the end-all be-all, but it's really something nice to have. Especially when employers are looking to move big, let's say, chip factories to your state. They look at things like that. How many people have college degrees? How many people graduated high school? Because they're going to need an educated workforce, and when you don't see the right numbers, you start looking at places like Ohio and then Minnesota. Then eventually you end up opening up your chip factory in Wisconsin. There's a couple things that I think they know. I'm sure they know. Politicians know these things. People that run states, people that run cities, they know these things have to be tackled, but they still don't because it costs money. And there's no immediate payoff for it. But the more educated your populace is, you're going to have a lower crime rate. You're going to have a lower homeless rate. You're going to have more people correcting people when they use the wrong there. Why do we have 3 theirs? We should just have one, like aloha. It means hello and goodbye. Or like orange, it's a fruit and it's a color. Or ham sandwich, it's something that's delicious and it's also a great punchline to a really dirty joke. Leave it to me, everyone. I'm going to fix the education system in the United States. With my skill and know-how, I'm sure we'll all look like idiots in like 3 or 4 years. Number 4, healthcare. Yeah, the healthcare system in Missouri isn't great. U.S. News ranks them 42nd in the nation. In case you're confused, that's out of 50. And it's really not the doctors or the nurses or anything like that. It's just the state has a relatively low number of hospitals, so a lot of people just kind of pass on going to the doctor when they really should. Nothing like a 10-hour ER wait to convince you to maybe just stay home and see how things play out. I mean, who hasn't been hit in the head with a crane hook? Got dizzy, blurred vision, forgot the 8th grade, and then started to vomit. It always seemed to work out for me. Number 3, tax burden. Okay, so first of all, I'd like to sit everyone down that's answered this survey and explain to you the taxes aren't that bad in Missouri. But they complained about it in the survey, said that the taxes were too high in Missouri. These people need to get out and explore the rest of the country. With overall tax burden, Missouri is ranked 39th in the nation. I did see another report that said they're ranked 42nd, but it's somewhere in there. Definitely not in the top 10. And these people said the taxes were too high in Missouri. Don't move to New Jersey or California. You'll cry yourself to sleep when you realize you're a horrible decision maker. If you look at Wallet Hub ranks Missouri as 42nd, with the overall tax burden of 7.11%. New York is close to doubling that with 12.47%. They got Hawaii at number 2 with 12.31%. So whoever answered that survey and said the taxes are rough in Missouri, you need to talk to a tax professional. Number 2, political climate. Yeah, this is something people complain about more and more. I've been doing these videos for like 5 or 6 years, and I see complaints in my comment section. I get emails of people suggesting videos I should do, and more, it's starting to be political stuff. Occasionally, I'll jump in and do a political type video, but I try and stay away from it. Well, a lot of people don't want to move to Missouri because of it, and I guess they're trying to stay away from politics too. Whether it's just politics in general, or the fact that Missouri is a very conservative state. Like I always tell people, move wherever you want. They don't force you to start voting Republican or Democrat. That's the beauty of this country. Vote however you want. And truth be told, we need at least 2 parties. If we all started voting the same, I'm sure things would get so much worse. There's a balance in everything, a yin and a yang. All right, before we get to number 1, if you're thinking about moving to Missouri or any state, there's a link for a website called Home and Money in the description area below. They've got all kinds of real estate tools like mortgage calculators, things like that. And they can also get you in touch with a real estate agent wherever you're looking to move to. All right, on to number 1. And number 1, low quality of life. Missouri has a low quality of life score. It's actually well below the national average, no matter who's doing the survey. There's different organizations that do quality of life scores and what they add to it. Missouri's always towards the bottom of the barrel. This, of course, is due to a number of factors, including the state's high crime rate, the low median household income, and the low education attainment levels. I think the weather plays a big part in the quality of life, and Missouri's got some pretty crazy weather, like we talked about earlier. They usually don't add that into the quality of life score, but I think it definitely affects the quality of life in any place you move to. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a great day, and be nice to each other.